Have you been waiting for something fresh on Solana? Check out Last Mint, the NFT casino where every click could cash. Mint from hundreds of live collections or spin up your own in seconds. The art, set the rules, then watch the chaos that ensues. Minters mint for the art or to win jackpots. Either way, every click resets the clock and ups your chances of winning big. And when the timer hits zero, the pool detonates. Last one to mint gets the crown, runner-ups get their cut, and lucky minters walk away fat. Well, everyone, even the unlucky, gets a share of the pool. And Last Mint is more than just DGen mints. Weekly lotteries, free golden mints, infinite referral payouts, endless chaos. Last Mint is always on. Are you?
What is up? What is up, everybody? Man, excited to be here. And I am going to be doing, so I'm Corey. I'm one of the founders of Last Mint. And we did a collaboration recently with the DEGEN Device, which is an absolutely insanely cool, like trading. If you're one of those who loves trading meme coins and you want to have the fastest transactions, you always want to have that data at your fingertips and the ability to start trading. The DEGEN Device on Hyperliquid is literally, there is no better way to do this. And so we did a really fun collab with them. This is a device that has a ton of hype going into it. And they've got, they've done some like NFT pre-sale. They built quite a bit of attention and awareness. The partnerships with Hyperliquid have been fantastic. And the devices are going to start shipping very, very soon. To me, this is kind of like the Seeker, which is one of those things that like has been in development for like, a while. We knew that the Seeker was coming a year and a half ago, and then all of a sudden they're shipping, they're arriving. I have not got mine yet. I still have my, I've got my Saga here, but I do not have my Seeker yet, which I cannot wait to get. Somebody said they're either shipping in, if they're going alphabetical, my last name is Wright with a W. I'm not really, I've always been at the back of the list. I was always the last one called in school when it was roll call. And if they're going by country, which I actually heard, so it was like, you start with, I don't know, what's an A country, Albania, right? And you start going through all the A's, right? And then start to move to B's and get to Brussels and then Canada. And then, I'm in the United States. So I'm probably last on shipping when it comes to the Seeker device, but now we have the DEGEN device to look forward to. So here's what I want to do today. I want to kind of share all of, talk to you guys about a little bit about what the DEGEN device is. We did a really, really cool collaboration with them on Last Mint, where you're able to basically mint raffle tickets to go get one of these DEGEN devices for as little as like $10. So a single $10 entry will win a $650, $700 device, basically, done through Raffle. Man, if you're ordering one of these or interested in a DEGEN device, I know that you are a DEGEN. I know that you are a gambler. And so something like this, a raffle, should be right up your alley. We're then going to do the raffle. There's a couple surprises in there as well. And so I'll introduce you kind of to the collection that we did. I want to kind of preview and show all the cool things about the DEGEN device. We'll then do the raffle live so that there's no, who won or what the deal is. But somebody is going to walk away today with a $10 raffle ticket that they bought on Last Mint that will now be worth a DEGEN device when they start shipping. And then we will, we'll do the raffle. I've got a couple surprises to announce. And then I'll do a little bit just on kind of like Last Mint at the end. So if you're not familiar with what Last Mint is, whether you're a minter, whether you're a creator, whether you are a project that would like to do something, Last Mint is a really new, just fun. I like to call it the NFT casino. It's insane for creators to be able to quickly launch collections in like 30 seconds, get your NFTs out to the world. It's awesome for minters to go discover things as well as to basically have some DEGEN fun using NFTs, not in necessarily a traditional NFT sense, but in like what we've done with DEGEN device, right? Where you've minted NFTs, but these NFTs have additional utility, either liquidity or some sort of utility somewhere else. So I think it's what we're doing on Last Mint is kind of fun, but I'll share quite a bit about that. I should also say that if you're on stream right now, I would love for you guys to give this a quick share. Let everybody know about it. Let's get more people in the room. And what's the other thing? Go like and follow us and DEGEN. I'll give you all the links and all that stuff shortly here. And and the final thing is I will be able to see your comments. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments, if you got feedback, not only can I see them, I can share them on screen. So feel free to type them in, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on X, regardless of where you are. Let me see where this is at. I was on X earlier today and I was like, I think we had some of like the biggest streamers on the planet that I'm competing against. Not some of the biggest on the planet, but I think it was like Leap, Pitboy Crypto had streams going on. Who? Oh yeah, CoinDesk, Crypto Banter, Cairo. So let's see if we can get into the several hundreds or thousands here to start to top some of those streams. Or maybe as people are dropping off because those are boring, come here. Let's check it out. All right. So let's see what's first. Okay, so let's talk about the collection details. Let me share my screen here. So here's what we did with Last Mint for DEGEN. Like, come on, add to the stage. There we go. All right, so this is Last Mint, and we did. You can see the DEGEN Hyperliquid device raffle was here. We had 179 raffle tickets that were ultimately bought. This is our leaderboard right now. Is our 5th biggest mint we've ever done, which is really cool. And I think in terms of collection prize, this was the 2nd biggest. There was an 11 soul prize pool that was going into this. And so we'll explain kind of the way Last Mint works at the very end here. But what I want to do is I want to get into the actual collection details. And so there was basically when you're minting, there's kind of this idea that you're minting what is known as a raffle ticket. It also has basically as that pool, that 11.27 soul. Every NFT that's minted, all 179 of these, has a specific claim to that pool. And so anybody who's basically minting this NFT has an option at the end of this. Would I rather claim my, whatever this is, $244.56 by turning my NFT back into Last Mint, or would I rather hang on to the NFT because I think it has more value for whatever utility it can provide me? In this case, a raffle ticket, sometimes it's art, sometimes it's project stuff, sometimes it's just lore or memes or whatever. If you'd rather have that value of the NFT, hang on to the NFT. It can be traded, used, sold, bought, redeemed, do whatever you want, burned on your own. Or you can redeem it in Last Mint. Again, every single NFT minted has some sort of a redemption value. So in this case, if you were the very last person to mint, that's kind of the Last Mint thing. You get the biggest part of the prize, 1.1 soul. You're probably claiming your 1.1 soul as opposed to turning this in as a raffle ticket. If you were one of the what we call runner-ups, there was like 6 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runner-ups that looks like they minted a ticket for like $10. That's now worth $50. Again, same thing. They're probably just claiming the $50. And then everybody else, you can see in here, there's all these others that basically 0.033 is kind of the redemption value here. And this would be $7. So now you can either redeem your NFT for $7 or you could turn it in to the raffle. And these had to be turned in last week or before the weekend. And so that list is done. There's no more like if you have these, you can't go mint them. The collection's done. We're just going to be doing the raffle today. But I wanted to kind of show you what this is. It gives you a little bit into Last Mint. We also, quick teaser, maybe doing a couple more future DEGEN collections like this. It was really successful. Just the number of mints, the kind of the cool awareness that it's able to bring. And I think the community loved it. And listen, somebody's going to, for essentially like a $10 mint, somebody's going to end up with a $700 device, which is pretty damn cool. I'm also going to talk about ways that you can get it for less than $700 if you're early. We're going to talk about whitelist. We're going to talk about their Genesis NFT collection. We're going to talk about the shipping dates for all this. So I'll get into all of this, but I wanted to kind of introduce the collection at a high level first and just kind of show you what the heck, how you got into this raffle and how you can get into these future raffles. So lastmint.fun. And if you need a promo code for that, DEGN should work as a promo code. So if you're brand new to Last Mint, it'll say, hey, do you have a referral code? DEGN is going to be the referral code. Use that, and that'll get you in with some benefits to DEGEN as well as your minting and all that stuff. So all right. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so I've got some of the DEGEN team on chat, like not feeding me information, but I had a couple questions that I wanted to get answered. I've followed this project from well before even this collab. I knew about it. In fact, I had a call with one of the founders, probably like 9 or 10 months ago about this, just to kind of learn what it was and because I was interested. And then fast forward 9 months later, and we're in a position where we can do some really cool stuff together. But so I've been following this. Anyways, that's the collection. So let me talk really quickly about kind of the DEGEN device, DEGN.com, sweet domain. And this has so much information. Their Twitter is also fire. This is literally the device. This is not like a prototype. This is not AI. This is the actual device. And I love this here. We didn't reskin Android. We didn't recycle a phone shell. We didn't rebrand a gaming console. We built something entirely new. The software, the hardware, the engineering, everything inside of this device is custom designed and built just for DEGEN traders who want to trade meme coins and want to do it on Hyperliquid, that want to have the fastest, most easy access anywhere they go to a trading device. there's, it's kind of funny because you could say like, hey, well, I can trade on my phone, and my phone does a whole bunch of other things too. Why wouldn't I just use my phone? Well, I understand that, and it's a good, question. I would say one thing first, or three things. Number one, the flex. It's kind of cool. Like, listen, I don't need a Saga device. I don't need a Secret device. I have them because I think they're for like ecosystem credibility. I think they're cool. And even this one, super custom. It's got the let me see if I can get the engraving, the Honeyland logo engraving on this. It's got to like focus, and then I got to get the right flex. Second one, the ease. Like, if there is the task that you're trying to do, there is no doubt that it is easier to trade on this device than it is on your phone, right? So when you have a very, very specific tool for something that you want to do, it allows you to do it much better. And then what was the third reason? I forget. Oh, this is not just a trading device. This is also a reward magnet, very similar to this. I don't think most people who ordered the Seeker ordered it because they're looking for another phone, or they don't have a cell phone. They weren't willing to wait 18 months to get a new cell phone. They were willing to wait 18 months to get a mining device that's going to have rewards sent to it, airdrop to it. And this DEGEN device is the exact same thing. It is a comparable reward magnet as the Seeker or the Saga devices. And so really, really cool stuff going on. All right. They've got a link tree if you want to get in, Telegram, Discord. If you've got a lot of the stuff is going to take place in Discord. So like if you have a device, they need a way to communicate with you. They're doing a lot of stuff through their website, but Discord is a great place to get your questions answered. We're going to have a link to a special pre-sale in their Discord that they're going to launch for people on this stream. So you'll be able to go there. They'll have a special link. I believe this will allow you to pre-buy one of these devices for $400. This will be the last time you'll be able to get that price on it. After that, let's say, for $400, this will be one of the final $400 batches. And then $620 will be the main price when it goes live once those are out. So if you want to get that link, he's going to set up basically a pre-sale link you'll be able to basically like buy this. It'll whitelist your wallet. And that's when you'll be able to claim. Let's go through the website really quickly. They have a Genesis NFT this Air Money DEGEN Genesis edition. By the way, you can find this here. You can buy the DPIN token. You can stake your NFT. So all of this stuff, you can get to the website, Discord, Telegram. Their link tree you can find. I would only suggest going to their Twitter, and their Twitter again is Air Money DEGEN. Okay, so let's just kind of get those as the let's see. Okay, let's go to the so this is their collection. This NFT they've got for sale. So this is 2.23 SOL, which I think is right around like $450. So you wouldn't necessarily want to buy this NFT right now because we're going to give you a pre-sale link for $400. But this NFT will be able to be redeemed for one of these devices. However, you could go buy one of these, and when the device moves to once the 400 are out and the 620 becomes the price, this may be, I don't know, something that can be useful. I'm not telling you what to go buy or sell. I'm just trying to give you the entry points into getting the DEGEN device. Win the raffle, own an NFT, get on the whitelist, pre-buy today. So tons of ways to do this. And again, if you want to figure out the best way for you, hop in the Discord. I'm not part of the DEGEN team. I'm part of the Last Mint team. But again, we've collabed with them and done some cool stuff. So, all right. As somebody who is not part of the DEGEN team, let me explain this device. It is very much what it looks like. 2 buttons and a scroll wheel. I believe there's a shift button as well. We'll go through all this stuff. Yeah, the shift button at the top, but 2 main buttons and a scroll wheel make this really easy to do everything you want. And you can see those buttons are not fixed buttons. So as you move from screen to screen, those are going to change into basically doing different things. Think of it like an iPhone where an early iPhone where you had a single button. That button would do different things depending on what screen you're on. That's the beauty of this. It is a product masterpiece. I love looking at product, both physical and digital, and just kind of seeing the interface and the user experience and the technical, the hardware components. And this is something that's just been done incredibly well. The screen interfaces, the device, user experience is just really, really cool. And it will help you do, if you are looking to meme coin trade. I don't do a ton of it. I'm still already have one of these devices. I'm going to participate in the raffles. I'm going to do everything I can to get one of these, devices for me and things that maybe I can hand out to friends or whatever. But I just think this device is absolutely cool. And even though I'm not like in the trenches every day, if you are in the trenches and don't have one of these, I would wonder what the heck is going on. let's see. There's a lot of stuff I'm being sent right now, information. I'll try and share that at the end. Let's first scroll through this. So it's a money console. I say a money console because you can do all the trading on it, but you also are going to get rewards and airdrops, and there's pre-built things that are coming in. Faster execution, private trading, secure storage, all in one. So here's kind of and I'm not going to walk through all of this, but basically this is the DO1. This is the original DEGEN device. This is the one that's going to start shipping in October. This is the one that NFT will unlock, I believe. We are raffling off their V2, which is the Hyperliquid. It's the DXH01. I'll show you what that looks like, but just a beautiful device. I am orange is one of my favorite colors, so I love this color scheme. It is clean. It is, I can only imagine what it's going to feel like in your hands. Again, this is not reskinned Android or iOS, not reskinned hardware, not reskinned gaming consoles. It is all built from the ground up. You can see custom built DOS. Comes preloaded with things like the wallet, the trading tools, everything that you need, DeFi, minting apps, games, all that stuff. So really, really cool on here. The software, and you can get a little bit more to what they're doing. But again, this is not easy to do, guys. Like, I am just in awe of the product mastery that has gone into this, from the design on the physical hardware as well as the software. Huge props to this. I can't wait to actually get my hands on one and start playing with it. But trading, swapping, all of this stuff will be in it. And again, it is a mining device. So because you have a wallet, people will be able to know that this is a DEGEN device based on some of the assets in the wallet. And then we'll be able to basically find those and airdrop stuff to those users. And I mean, like for last minute, man, let's say we had a token, or let's say we could find an NFT or we do something, like I would love to airdrop that to everybody who has one of these devices, because that's who I want to get in touch with. And trust me, I've run games, I've run gaming Web3 projects, now kind of more platforms, and finding valuable users, not just through like free tools or things like that, it really incentivizes extractors. These are people who have invested into Web3 degeneracy. And those are the people that that are like really, really valuable. And so I'm just telling you, the best projects are going to be looking for this set of users as a really pre-qualified, predefined set of users that will have value to them. And those are the ones that we would be much more likely to reward over just kind of randos through some social fi campaign where anybody can go claim a little bit of money. It's not to say that those can't work as well, but I will just tell you that this audience of DEGEN owners is going to be really, really powerful for products and communities and projects moving forward. All right, so this is the DXH. This is the limited edition one. I believe it's got a slightly different color scheme. It's preloaded with 25,000 of their DPIN tokens. Plus, you're going to get the future airdrops, which is really cool. And then 50% of all device sales go straight into buying back DPIN from the market. And so this is a really, really cool part of this, right? So there's, I would imagine, small trading fees from the device. That's how they make their money, built into all the wallet. This is how anybody, Phantom and Jupiter, they just take a small percentage of every single trade. And so that the platform, the interface that you're using to execute the trade is going to take a small percentage to basically execute that on your behalf. I generally find that, if I'm doing the convenience of swapping in Phantom for small amounts, I would generally do. But if I'm doing any big amount, I'm heading to Jupiter because it's a little bit cheaper. This will combine the best of kind of both worlds, the simplicity as well as the cheap trading fees. And then 50% of that's going back to buy the token that's supporting the ecosystem, the DPIN token. Super, super cool. And can make, this airdrop of 25,000 DPIN tokens more and more valuable as they burn more and more tokens. All right, here's the timeline. August 2025, we've announced this. And again, I believe the only way to get this is $620. I don't think the $400 is for this device. I believe that's only for the DO1 device, not the DXH01. The DO1 is the Genesis edition, the American edition. These are two different editions. They were different. This is kind of the, you can see the orange buttons here. And then I believe the American device had some cool, just different design, but I believe it's the same thing. Worldwide shipping is going to begin in October. So make sure you get into the Discord if you own one of those, or you have access to one of those, or you pre-bought one of those. Want to make sure you get in. And then November is when the Hyperliquid, and you can see the little difference, the orange buttons versus the green buttons, to kind of talk about the different devices. And then if you did not get in one of these pre-sales or one of the whitelists to get these early editions of either the Genesis, the American, or the Hyperliquid edition, in November, you'll begin having a worldwide sale. These are not the special or limited edition devices, $700. And so that's the kind of where we're at. The pre-sale, if you want to get in here, you can do this from their website, get on the whitelist, an email and a wallet address will help you out. I don't know if that guarantees whitelist or not. Here's the DXH01, kind of all the specs and stuff you can see back here, the Hyperliquid. This thing's designed in the middle of nowhere, which is kind of cool. I saw that, it made me laugh. All the technical specs for all the nerds who want to kind of figure this out. What's all these things look like? It's even got a camera. It's got biometrics, like some really, really cool stuff. And man, I'm just so pumped on all of this. It is really, really cool to be doing a collab with them, and really cool. So DEGN.com can get you to their Twitter, or their Twitter can get you to DEGN.com. And yeah, let's see. GM, I see a couple people leaving comments saying GMs. Any questions about the device, let me know. All right, let's move on to, I think, the raffle stuff. And then I've got some announcements that I want to make. All right, so first off, here is the list. Truncated wallets. I always like to show this first. This is basically how many raffle entries there are. So if we go back to the description here, and if we just go to the collection description, mint your NFT. You had to send your NFT to this wallet by 8/23. So you cannot any longer do it, but it must be basically, if you minted one of these through Lastmint, sent the device or sent the NFT, you said, hey, listen, rather than redeem it on Lastmint or just hold on to it, I'd rather send this to DGen so I can get entered into that raffle. You got entered in the raffle. We talked about for every 100 tickets sent above the wallet, another new raffle will be created. So I was a little unclear about this. And, I was like, oh, cool, more devices. They're like, no, it's not more devices. We're just going to basically what we'll do is we'll create another raffle that we'll launch another collection on Lastmint. And I was like, that sounds awesome. I've got a surprise for you guys later, but I wanted to let you know we surpassed the 100 mark of tickets that were redeemed, meaning there will be another collection on Lastmint for the Hyper DEGEN device raffle ticket. So if you did not get in on the first one, you can get in on this one. They're also launching a Galaxy Quest, I believe today, where you can get kind of XP and get some cool things for this ecosystem. So this is more than just a device. It's more than just like an e-commerce product. This is very much integrated with Web3 community through questing and through rewards and raffle systems and partner integrations. They're just doing an incredible job with all this. So here's how it goes for every, and then if you had a multiplier. So in this collection, let me just go to this really quickly. Every time you mint within Lastmint, you have you can be lucky. So you can see this as a 2x here. This means that it will get actually 2 times either the redemption value. So you can see here, this one is worth 14, while this one's only worth 7, right? So because it got a multiplier, and we can keep going down, you can hit 5x multipliers. This one's worth $35 because it got a 5x multiplier. Couple 2x's back to back. That's kind of cool. And so if you, because these have higher redemption value on Lastmint, they also carry more raffle value for this raffle. So if you had a 1x, it counts as basically 10 entries into the raffle. If you had a 2x, it counts as 20 entries into the raffle. If you had a 5x, it counts as 50 entries. And if you had a 100 or a 10x, it counts as 100 entries into the raffle. So with that, this is the sheet of showing how many. So this person probably either put in 12 1x's, or they could have put in 6 2x's. You get the idea. There's a number of different ways. This is probably, I don't know, 10 1x's and a 2x, maybe 11 total NFTs. So this will show you basically all of the entries. And I just like to do this on the stream so that anybody who's like, wait, where's mine? You can see that they're in here. You can see exactly what's being represented. And then we're going to use this wheel of madness to actually find the winner. And so I'll leave this on here for a little bit so you can see that your wallet is on here, and it should have a bigger piece of the pie if it is a bigger, if you had more tickets in. So let's take something like this 260 and 210. This is A2E and HPC. So these are going to be HPC. Let's see, where's the bigger A2E? So you can see the bigger slices are represented by bigger values. And then the entire list of like the actual NFTs. So this is the 490Y, I think. 490Y, this 2MC had, so 10 tickets in total. 2 had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in total. 2 of them had multipliers. And so that is 120 total tickets, right? So that's how we arrived at all this. I'll scroll through slowly. So if anybody wants to go back and make sure their wallet was included, their raffle tickets, we've got all the SoulScan links, et cetera, et cetera. So just want to make sure that this is all done in a fair and transparent way. You can see that this you can go back and just kind of look through this, make sure that your wallet's on here. And then as we're on this wheel, here's the, and let me just make this just a little bigger in case. So here's the thing that you really need to see, right? Is the wallets with the amount of tickets that are being entered. And I don't know, can we see the total number? Let's do it. So 164 total entries, meaning or total like redemption tickets, meaning 1,640. So your chances are, however many you own of these into 1640, that will be your chances. We'll see who is the winner of each of these. All right, we ready? Anybody? One more thing to say? Any questions? Cool. Let's see if I can make this just a little bigger as well. Nope, not really. Okay. Let's click to spin. All right. For the DEGEN device, there is going to be one lucky winner. Here we go. And I think we've got this wheel set to like either 30 seconds or 60 seconds that it's going to take. So yeah, I guess I need to talk through this, but we wanted the suspense to be there. Who's going to win? I've started doing cold brew in the morning instead of just like hot brewed coffee, and I love it. Anyways, I was also one of those people. I'm killing time if you can tell. All right, but we are getting close. I was one of those people that would like literally go brew my coffee and then like in a Keurig, and then would go in the shower so that my coffee would cool down. Had like plenty of time to cool down. Ooh, look at this. We're coming to a lot of small little gaps here. Can we get one of these? Oh, all right. Now we're in a big gap. Do we have enough juice to get to the other side? Or is it going to be this 9TIQF0? We're slowing down. We're slowing down. I like their chances. I like their chances. Who's this? This 7Y50. We're going to see who that is. All right. We have a winner. All right. Let me screenshot this. Boom. Let me screenshot. Actually, do it a little easier way, so that we get the whole wheel, so that somebody can say, where's mine? Everybody likes to see that. Okay, we're going to close this. Guys, I told you we had a special for you. I talked to the team at DEGEN, and I said, listen, I was a little unclear. When I saw this, this kind of note in here that said, hey, for every 100 tickets sent to the above wallet, another new raffle will be created. I thought that meant like another new device would be raffled off. Not really because of the way that it's worded, but because of the way that when we talked about this originally, that's what I had in my mind. And I was like, hey, it's worded a little weird if that's what we're going to do. And they're like, no, that's not what we're doing. We're just one device. They said, but listen, Corey, if you misunderstood, there's a chance somebody else might have misunderstood. Let's just give away two. So there's another raffle going on. So if you were on that sheet, we are raffling off two devices. We will exclude the one thing we want to do is 9TIQ. Actually, I didn't talk about this with them. So I'm trying to like on the fly figure out, there's no reason we should exclude. You bought multiple tickets, you can win multiple devices. Let's go. All right, we're spinning again. All right, I'll finish my coffee story. Oh no, I did. Yeah, so I started doing cold brew. I don't have to wait. I can just pour it right after my shower. But it is, and we have this little pellet ice because my ice breaker broke in my fridge. So I went and bought like on Amazon, like a pellet ice thing, and it's super cool. So I've got pellet ice and cold brew. Anyways, not that anybody cared about that. Here we go. Where is, okay, 9TIFQ doesn't, I don't think we'll get back around to that. So no offense if that's you. I just would rather much have a second winner. Okay, do we get through all these small ones and into this HPC7? Or do we not make it there? Is it going to be one of these smaller players? It's going to be a smaller player, I think. Oh, I got it here. All right, we're not moving beyond this. HPC7CI M3XC. Good stuff. We did it. All right. Guys, we have two official winners. Again, I'm going to snapshot or screenshot this one. Snapshot. We're going to screenshot that one. We've got our two winners. Congratulations, guys. All right. So if you are one of those winners, you're probably going, what do we need to do? Don't worry. Your whitelist, your wallet will be added to the whitelist. And so when it comes time, as if it's like an NFT, basically. So when it comes time to redeem or to start getting the shipping information, all that stuff, you'll be able to connect your wallet. If you're one of those two winners, please, please, please go connect to the Discord, because I do not want you to miss any announcements. There is going to be a little bit of action needed on your end in order to claim, so that they can get your shipping address and get these out to you. These are for the DEGEN, the Hyperliquid device. So it's that special edition Hyperliquid one. Where are we at? There we go. It's going to be for this device right here, this super cool Hyperliquid, the DXH01. And if you remember the shipping dates on this one, are going to be in November is when these are going to start shipping worldwide. If they hit those timelines, good on them. I know how devices go. I think Solana Seeker was pretty on timeline. By the way, I was going to have somebody from the DEGEN team on this stream, but they're like, listen, I've got they live in a country where the delivery of like packages and parcels is just, you have to meet the delivery driver and have to be available. And he's like, my Seekers are coming today and I can't miss that. They're supposed to come in this window. So better off if I just do the stream alone. So let's see. This is so cool. Loving this. And we've got our winners. Again, go into the Discord. Guys, if you need to get into the Discord, go to either degen.com, degen.com, or you can go to Air Money Degen is their Twitter account. You can go to the Last Mint Twitter account that you're on right now and go look at, there's a post that we made today with tagging them in it. So all these ways, I just always like to be safe. I don't ever like having people manually type things whenever possible. Start at a known trusted source, branch out from there. It's good Web3 hygiene. So man, if you're not pumped on this device, something's wrong with you, unless you didn't win. But remember, if you are one of these on this Wheel of Madness and your name did not get called, we're going to be doing more of these. So follow us. Last Mint we've got a Telegram channel. We announce most things in there. We obviously have our Twitter. We're going to announce most things in there, our X account. And yeah, I think that's about it. Let me see. Oh, the last thing that I want to do is I want to, oh, cool. So I just got a picture from the DEGEN team. They got their device, their Seekers. They're sent me a picture of the Seekers. Super cool. All right. And then the last thing we want to do is, I just want to talk to you guys about Last Mint. So this is kind of now a Last Mint commercial. So if you know what Last Mint is, he said he sent me a picture of the device and then said 589 days later. Worth the wait, guys. And I think DEGEN's going to be too. So really, really cool. Let's talk a little bit about Last Mint. So the idea here is we just, and again, if you know about Last Mint and you don't want to hear about this, you can check out. I don't think there's any other alpha. Let me see. Is there any other alpha that I missed? Follow the DEGEN. They're going to have a Galaxy Quest. I assume that they'll promote it there. They're going to be doing some giveaways. There's some, you can get some, I think some of the D-Pin token. I think, anyways, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I know that they're doing a Galaxy Quest that's going to have some additional rewards. We're going to be launching future mints on Last Mint. They're going to have a big whitelist campaign. So if you don't want to spend necessarily money, I think there's other ways through like the Galaxy and things like that you can go, if you don't want to buy a raffle ticket, you feel like, no, I'd rather just get a whitelist and you want access to that $400 device. Again, get in their Discord. They're going to post a special pre-sale link today. So those are all the ways to get your hands on a DEGEN. I want to talk really quickly about Last Mint. This is my project. For those who don't know me, I'm the founder of Honeyland. Was recently acquired by Bravo Ready Studios. Just an incredibly talented team there. And excited to, kind of embark on this next chapter of kind of what Hexagon Studios is now. So Hexagon Studios is the team that built Honeyland, transition that over to the Bravo Ready team through the acquisition. And now we're much more focused on building like gamified DEGEN apps. And instead of building games, we really want to build gamified apps. And so this is, I look back, my favorite time in Web3 was 2021. 2020, 2021, started minting NFTs. Like that was the thing. I started trading crypto in 2017 through like Coinbase and Binance. And, when Coinbase had Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin, those were like the three things that you could trade. That was it. If you wanted to trade other tokens, you needed to basically move those funds into Binance. It's what taught me about Web3. It's when I learned about centralized and decentralized exchanges and trading tokens and getting your ass kicked and round tripping. And I learned all those things. And it was a ton of fun. But then when NFT, so I was prepared. But then when Solana came and Solana introduced NFTs, it was without question the most fun retail consumer DEGEN experience I'd ever had, trying to get into mints, trying to, get for whitelist, figuring out when you minted, what was the reveal, the trading, the secondary, like it was just, to me, peak Web3. And I wanted to bring that back. And I feel like then moving into kind of last year, we saw this kind of immersion of pump fun and meme coins, and meme coins were just so same thing. It brought that energy back where it was like, let's find a runner. In minutes, you could have, you could lose everything or you could 50x. Like that type of excitement is Web3. Like this, these outsized risk reward type of, or asymmetric risk reward type of things, these frequent outcomes, these jackpot type opportunities, the ability to risk real money to win and lose against other people, you know, in these PvP systems, NFT mints, meme coins, they're all the PvP essentially. And so, but part of the problem with those is that they became a little bit dependent, a little bit too centralized, right? That even a pump token launch could be very centralized at the launch. It's done decentralized, but the mechanics would allow somebody to really quickly front run, to spread out a whole bunch of wallets, and to basically manipulate a token launch where they could basically be the only ones profiting if done right, and ultimately rug everybody else. Same thing with NFT collections, right? The fact that the creator would immediately have access to the mint funds, whether or not they did anything with that NFT. I mean, we saw, what was the Balloonsville, or and then later went on to launch that Lizard collection, I think, and rugged both of those like same day, and was proud of it, right? And it's like, I just stole millions of dollars and I'm showing everybody, and there's nothing you can do about it because the mechanics weren't necessarily fair. And so what we want to do is bring back that like true energy, but do it in a much more decentralized way, or fair way, that wasn't really open to rugs and all that stuff. And so Last Mint is that. It's also the embodiment of two. If you guys, hopefully you're just have time to shoot the shit. I'm not trying to do this quickly, but I'm just kind of trying to tell a story, have fun here. But the so Last Mint is also a combination of two events that worked incredibly well within Honeyland. So when we did our very first Genesis mint, June 1st, June 2nd, 2022 or 2021, we minted 5,500 Genesis NFTs for Honeyland. And we did so through like 3 phases of like guaranteed whitelist, and then public sale. We ended up selling out in about an hour and 40 minutes, I believe. Once, after the public sale, we did all the early whitelist, about an hour and 40 minutes into the public sale, minted out a total of 5,500 pieces. It was incredible. But nobody knew who we were. Nobody really knew why we were minting. And one of the things that there was, like, we caught some momentum early on, and then it really slowed down around the 3,000 mint mark. And we weren't sure if we were going to mint out the collection. And what caused the collection to pick up steam was that we offered this thing that we called paper hand bitch insurance. And this was very much a play on a popular kind of experiment at the time that DGods had done called paper hand bitch tax. And so it worked well for them, but also they ended up sunsetting it. And so we brought in paper hand bitch insurance, which said, if you minted one of those 5,500 Genesis NFTs, it cost 2.5 SOL. And we said, if you mint that for 2.5 SOL, we'll give you 41 days that if you have buyer's remorse, all you have to do is list it on Marketplace. And if it sits there for more than 12 hours, we as a treasury will use the 2.5 SOL that you paid us during the mint to go buy that back and then burn it. And so it will be removed from the collection, but you can mint risk-free. You know that there's a guaranteed value coming back to you. Now, that wasn't done on chain. It was just like a promise that we made. It was a pinky swear. Fortunately, there was never, throughout that entire 41-day period, there was never a NFT that sold or was listed for 2.5 SOL or less that sat on the marketplace for less than for more than 12 hours. We never had to buy or burn a single NFT. That collection remained at those original 5,500, unless somebody has stupidly or accidentally burned it. It should still be, those original 5,500 should all be in circulation still. So that was really cool. But I think it gave confidence because people were like, as long as I know that there's some rug proof, there's some time for me to figure out if this is going to, if the creator is doing anything afterwards without rugging, but I can commit my money, but I can also get it back afterwards, right? So we thought that was really cool. And then December of last year, we did what we called our Ancient Bee event. And one of the things we wanted to do was really reduce supply of our bees within Honeyland. And we also wanted to introduce something new. And so we built this gamified event that we called an Ancient Bee event. And it had a couple of things. Basically, you could take, without all the specifics, you could take like 4 of your lower quality bees within Honeyland. You could basically take those to I think we did it in the alchemy, but like this alchemy room that we had, which basically, or fusion room, it was fusion room. And so you could basically take those bees and you could fuse them into what we would give you back, an item that we called essence. And this essence was just a soft currency. But then you could take that essence and HXD and you could put that in the alchemy or in this Ancient Bee event, and it would mint you a new bee. So basically you could get rid of 4 low quality bees and get 1 new bee that had guaranteed floor stats and had a chance of being something really lucky, being an ancient bee. And so this mechanic was really, really cool. And people loved it. There were a couple other mechanics which said we were going to have basically a timer that started at, I think, 1 hour, and every day would reduce by like 10 minutes until it eventually got down to 10 minutes. And every time somebody minted, it would reset the timer. But when the timer finally hit 0 at some point, the event would end. You could no longer go get more, like the Ancient Bee supply was locked. That would, there wasn't for that event at least. And then the last minters at that point would get a significant prize pool. I think we had like 5 soul that went to the very last person. And like, yeah, I think that was it. Maybe, I don't know if we even had runner-ups, like a second and third place. Maybe we had like 1 soul and a half a soul to second and third place or something like that. But the idea was that if you kept the mint going, you would then be the last minter. And if it ran out right after you, then you had a big prize. So you were incentivized to keep the mint going. But even if somebody minted after you, you didn't get the big prize, you still got something, right? And so we combined these two things, this paper hand bitch insurance, this ancient B event. We took the best of the best. We combined it in the last mint. And so that's essentially what these collections look like. So every collection that you mint in here, and let me just refresh this page. All right. So every collection that you mint in here, and we'll find one, these goldfish, you're going to be my lucky mint subject. So there's a pool right now, which is 0.06 soul, right? And right now it would cost me 0.01 soul to mint. If I mint, I would be in the final minter position. I also have a chance of, minting something early now that people may be paying more to mint later. So there's an escalate, and the ancient B event had this as well, but there's an escalating mint fee. So if we just click this image, we can see any collection details. There's actually a couple of these. So with different chances. So more than likely I will get either this one or this one. There's a chance I'll end up with this one or this one. Listen, if you love the art, come for the art. If you don't, then just mint for the gamble and plan on redeeming the NFT at the end. So we can see that the price increase on this is 0.15%. So every mint will get subsequently more expensive by 0.15%, which means this has kind of this hockey stick effect. So if you mint early, there's and the collection doesn't really go anywhere. Nobody really paid significantly more than somebody who minted early. But if you mint early and we all of a sudden get to 3, 4, 5, 600, 1,000 mints in this collection, the 1,000th minter is paying significantly more than you had to pay. And all of that is going into this prize pool, right? And at the end, if you remember, all of these who aren't in one of these, what we call bonus positions, where you're either a last minter or a runner-up, if you're not in a bonus position, every NFT has basically the same or a fixed redemption unit. So it doesn't matter if you bought the very first one or you bought the very, one of the very last ones. You paid a lot more for the very last one, but the redemption is going to be the same, right? And every mint has an opportunity to be lucky. So nobody's been lucky in here. There's no 2x, 5, or 10x yet, which is good to see. It means that, I have a chance of doing this. So, and then the reset timer is at 4 hours on this one. So 3 hours and 43 minutes. Let's go ahead and mint this one. It's going to cost me 0.01 soul. And you're going to watch a couple things happen. So the prize pool is going to go up. The timer is going to get reset. And there we go on the last minter. So the prize pool went up. The last minter got the timer got reset. And I am now in this final spot, right? So if this collection were to end right now, I basically get my money back. There's not a big, everybody's kind of in a bonus position. And so with the exception of MetaFins now, but these collections, when they're really early, you're not going to see a big disparity. It's when they really start to catch traction. So let's go find one that has a little bit more traction. I'll show you. This Punks collection has been going on for a little while. It is a 6-hour reset or an 8-hour reset timer. It's now at 5 hours and 48 minutes. But you can see this one right now, I'd be minting at 0.02 soul, but the prize pool is 2.1 soul. And if we look at this, the very last minter is going to get 10% of whatever that prize pool is. So this prize pool keeps going up and up. The price rate increase is a little bit steeper here. So we can see that probably, I'll show you kind of a little trick. Or actually we know what this started at, right? So the base price was 0.01 soul, so $2, but anyone minting now is paying twice that. And so if you were just being early, you're gonna have the same redemption value, right? If we just get below these, the redemption value is gonna be right around here, about $1.73. So somebody who minted early is almost getting all their money back and can only go up from there. So if this goes from, what are we at, 145 mints to add a 0 to this to 1,450 mints, if this collection keeps going and going, then minting right now is actually going to be really beneficial as well. You won't be the last minter, you won't be a runner-up, but you'll be minting much cheaper than the 1,000th minter will be paying closer to probably 1 soul, right? Which means once we get in there, the redemption value of these is probably going to be close to like a half a soul for anybody, for every NFT, meaning you can mint right now for 0.02 soul. And if this thing rips, we can have 0.05 soul is probably, sorry, I was a little bit wrong on my numbers. I didn't mean 1 soul and half a soul. I meant 0.1 soul and 0.05 soul, right? That's probably where this would go to. And this prize pool will start to get much higher than the $450. You're going to start having thousands of dollars in here in this prize pool. And then that gets basically distributed. So how it gets distributed, this prize pool, right? Big Daddy just minted. This prize pool, how does it get distributed? It gets distributed in basically a couple ways. So we as Last Mint take 5%. Some of that goes back to referrers. So if you refer people to the platform, we're going to incentivize you with that. That comes out of our share, not out of anything else. So 5% we keep for the platform. We redistribute some of that through referral rewards. We keep some of that as our revenue. 0.5% of this collection, 0.5% of this 2.1 will go to the creator of this, which is Big Daddy, who just minted this. Good to see them keeping their collection going. You can do that. We can see there's a whole bunch of different things that we can get here too. So you can try and get this super rare guy. We'll go back in a little bit, see if anybody's minted this one, because you can see all the different mints. But some really cool things. And if you want to collect them all, I don't know if these have utility. It's glitch infused pixel punks, resurrected from the ashes of the old web, neon, raw, and untamed, survivors of the past, reborn of the. So no real utility. I think it's just, if you like the art, keep it. If you don't, then you're minting just for the gamble, right? And you're just trying to do get multipliers or be last or be early enough that the pool runs. A lot of ways that you can kind of win, but ultimately we just need, if this gets momentum, it will be really good. So 5% to us, 0.5% to the creator. That's 5.5%. The other 94.5% goes back to minters. And remember, 0.5% plus up to like 2% can go back to referrals. So up to 97% of everything that gets minted is just going directly back to the people minting. It's all locked on chain in a smart contract. This prize pool is sitting in a smart contract right now. It is not going to the creator. It is not going to us. It's sitting in a smart contract so that everybody who mints has a chance to just pull back their portion of that pool once this collection ends. So you can't do it yet because the collection's still ongoing. But as soon as the collection's locked, the redemption, the final redemption value of every NFT is known, and then it becomes able to be redeemed on Last Mint just by simply visiting your profile. And so, yeah, so we can see we're gonna go mint here. Let's get in this collection. Great. So now we are in this final spot. We can see that we're up almost 1,000%, right? We minted for 0.02. Right now we would be at 0.224. So we minted for about $4 and we've got about $47 right now. Now, Big Daddy just minted a little bit ago, paid $4. His is still worth 11 because he's in a runner-up spot. Eventually, if he drops out, he minted this one previously and that one's only worth $1, right? So the values are going to change. They're not fully known until this locks. However, you can trade these on secondary right now. Every single one of these is an actual NFT that sits in your wallet that can be traded, moved, sold, used, whatever you want. So if we go to this one, this is the one that we just minted. We could see that right now, this is its current value. I cannot redeem it because it's an active collection, but these ones minted. Look, I was last minter on this one. We'll just go $2.12. It's not the, the best prize, but it was probably a collection that just didn't. Yeah, I was number 4. And so there's only 4 mints in the collection. So if these collections don't run, you're going to run into issue. Let's just go to redeemable ones. And yeah, redeemable. Cool. And I'm looking, we had a sort option that was for value, and I don't know where that went. Anyways, we'll get that back. And so you can see here's all the NFTs that I've minted. Oh, these Mona Lisas. I didn't even realize there was multiples of them. That's pretty funny. Let's look at what this collection was. So there was multiples. I did not know this. I would have minted way more. I think this is hilarious. Anyways, it's obviously AI art. Guys, there's going to be there's real artists on this as well. I can tell you that this one, let's see, who's this? Aphasion, I think, launched this. Oh, no, Bodhi. Bodhi's a real artist, does some real stuff. You can see this is like actual art. He uses a lot of AI for stuff, but he does actually a lot of stuff in like Photoshop and like manual stuff. That's not just spit out by, you've got this, which is actually my daughter's collection. She's ZZA, it's Zigzag Art. I did mint. It looks like I was one of the, I have my no breaks and I have my main account. So I use kind of 2 of these. Let's see. But mostly I use the account that I'm on right now. This is more if I want to show support for collections. I don't ever really sell this. But you can see that she did a whole bunch of these like cool things on her pad, and she minted these all as like digital NFTs, and then had this one really cool, like you can launch GIFs on here. So if this is like the full collection. I don't think anybody minted that one yet. All right, let's go back to that 404 collection. Not 404, Punks Reborn collection. 404 was another like big collection that ran before this. And let's see if anybody, so what does this one look? It's this, that's the super rare one. Let's see if anybody minted that. We can see kind of all these. It's this punk with the orange spikes. You can see a couple 10X. Here's a 5X. I think I just saw a 10X, 2X. I don't know. Maybe not. Nobody's gotten this one yet. I mean, it does. It's a 0.5%. So you'd think that it's going to require about 200 mints before the first one shows up. We're not quite at that, but yeah, so it doesn't look like we've seen one. So you can still get one of those super rares. And again, there's no like anything to this collection, but if you did have the one of one that was minted of this, could be kind of cool to have in the collection. You know, if I got that, I'd probably hang on to it versus redeem it for, what's the redemption value right now? A couple bucks, $2. So anyways, all right, that's it, guys. I just want to kind of show you the platform, have some fun. Oh, I'll show you the last thing. Anybody can launch a collection in literally like seconds. So we're going to come in here. All we need to do is upload an image. I've got just an image here that's like basically nothing. You just need to name the collection, name. You need to put a base price if you want it to be in like, let's say 1 sol, and accept the terms and create. Guys, that would be how quickly I can launch a collection. But of course I can add descriptions. I can change some of these. If I wanted to, you know, I can randomly select all of these like different settings for like how fast does the price increase and what's the reset timer and how many runner-ups. And you can set all of that stuff. You can add social links if you're a real artist or a real creator, or there's more utility or a real project. You can do that. At the previous screen, you can add with this different like minting chances. So if you want like some to be rare, some to be common, if you want to add metadata, you can add attributes to this. So you can add additional variants. So if you want multiple variants, so a ton of just like options as a creator, but you could also in 30 seconds, if you just want to launch a meme collection, you can certainly do that as well. You can see I still have the crown here. I'm still the last minter. So if I just go look at my activity, oops, let's look at my activity. I can see that I am the last minter here. Somebody minted after me here already, just a couple seconds ago. So that's where I'm at in the collections. You can see these little icons will identify if you're in one of the bonus positions or not. And we can see here, like the next minter will have that. That's the expected kind of value of what that next mint would be. So anyways, cool stuff. Thanks for joining me, guys. Go follow DEGEN on the old Twitter there, guys. Yeah, go to their Discord. Again, their link tree has Telegram, Discord. They've got their X account, all that stuff. So that's it. I appreciate you guys. And what a fun stream. Any questions? Nope, I don't think so. Hello, everybody. And let's remove this. Let's end the stream. Cheers, everybody.